Hello, lovely ones. What really is mindfulness? An easy way to approach mindfulness is to comprehend it, embrace it as being aware, sitting with yourself in the present moment and being completely aware. And when you do that, everything slows down. You become more peaceful. You stop that monkey mind from racing ahead, dwelling on past pains or stresses. And the power of that awareness, of being in that present moment, is that remembering that we absorb our thoughts, feelings, we set off a chemical response in ourselves. And that is how partly we become unwell, in that our thoughts create for example, stressful idea, which then sets off chemical responses, cortisol, and the stress responses, the fight or flight mode. And then our body starts to absorb that. And so before we know it, when we're continually dwelling on the past or racing ahead into the future, we can find ourselves in a very anxious, unwell way, mind, body, and soul. Breathwork is a very, very fundamental tool. It's part of who we are as living beings. And it is possibly the most simple and powerful way to be mindful, to be aware, because breath work brings us back inside. We quiet ourselves and we hear that wise voice within, that voice within that is far more about our heart and our soul and who we really are, rather than that monkey mind that was running through 10 things to do or 10 scenarios or 10 things that might happen. And so breathing also helps release some of those stuck emotions or stresses, stored emotions or stresses that we may have inadvertently been carrying around with us or created. And so a very simple approach is to just breathe in for 4, hold for 4 if you can, and the key is to breathe out for longer. So breathe out for a count of 6. Through doing this, we are telling our body, our energy system, that we're in a relaxed state. It's almost like a code for ourselves that by breathing out for longer, we automatically go into a far more peaceful, mindful, relaxed state. And then as you're breathing in for 4, holding, and out for 6, become very much aware of the details in your present moment. It may be that you just focus on your breath. It may be that you focus on the counting. It may be that you focus on a sound, birds singing in the tree outside your window, or a colour in front of your eyes, anything. Really attune into that, and that will bring you into that absolute present moment with yourself. And then you are able to step back a little bit and consciously observe that present moment. And when you do that, again, it washes away all these thoughts that are more anchored in the past or the future that are causing all these stories to be running through us, all these responses that are getting stirred up. we become very much more in the moment and able to receive information or spontaneous, more intuitive thoughts, ideas, guidance about how to be, what to do next. As an example, we may be worrying about something that we have to do later on that day, and we're not sure what to do. We're not sure how we're going to get everything done or how we're going to respond. We're worrying about something that we can't probably control. And again, it will be feeding lots of stress responses in us. What am I going to do with this? And so on. If we stop, we breathe, we become mindful, we just settle into the moment and we go within. Spontaneously, we may realize that actually I don't really have to do anything. All I have to do is just show up. I'll know what to do. It will all be fine. That's, as I say, a really small example of what happens when we stop, and instead of creating all these scenarios, we actually just say, hang on, what really is going on here? And we reconnect with that confidence within, that wisdom within, where we know that we actually have this, it's fine. And so little books like this, there's a wealth of ideas for practicing mindfulness. This little book, for example, has ideas about being in nature, being mindful as you drink a cup of tea and things like that. There's lots of different ways. Keep the concept of being mindful is just about being in the moment with yourself and being aware. And a very, very powerful tool to bring yourself into that is breathwork. Thank you.